Hey everyone, I probably don't need to tell you this because it's all over the news and a lot of quality channels have already made videos on the subject, but I felt I need to give my thoughts because I have complicated thoughts on this. Because I do think a Pac-Man movie is a solid premise, and clearly from how often Pac-Man gets referenced in movies, it's warranting of a movie, but the fact that it's in live action complicates things. Though I need to preface my relationship with Pac-Man as a franchise. Growing up, I was an average person my age in terms of my interest in Pac-Man. I played the game many times before, but it was never something that I took seriously. Just an occasional fun time in an arcade. I wasn't an actual fan of the Pac-Man games until very recently. I have a DeviantArt post linked in the description that explains my experiences with the series more in depth. But for now, all you need to know is that I haven't been a fan for very long, but I enjoy the games. So let's talk about the first issue and what I think is the most important one, that being the design. No, the writing isn't actually my biggest problem with this. I'm sure the film will be competently written at least, but I accept that the movie will exist, so, even if I don't like the premise, it isn't nearly as big of a problem. The whole CGI cartoon character in live-action film trope has existed for a very long time, and I am sick of this trope, but I digress. Alvin the Chipmunks, the Smurfs, Sonic the Hedgehog, Detective Pikachu, all of these share humanoid traits to where they can easily be adapted into realistic and usually believable characters. Well, as realistic as these characters can get without being uncanny. So we still have to suspend our disbelief a little bit, but we still look at these characters and think, yeah, I imagine this character being in the real world, but Pac-Man is different. His facial features, his body shape, and his texture don't match that at all. He isn't a human, he's a ball. 3D renditions of Pac-Man usually depict him as a plasticky, rubber-like character. I'm just concerned how you can design this character without him being unrecognizable or uncanny, or have him not even fit in with the environment. And I am also concerned for the ghosts. I hope they redesign them similar to the Ghostly Adventures, allowing people to actually distinguish the ghost apart. Just not in the Ghostly Adventures art style, obviously, because ew, teeth. That's another thing. Please don't give Pac-Man teeth or any of the ghost teeth. Just don't. I'm sure due to the backlash of the original Sonic movie design that they'll try to make sure these designs are as good as possible. I mean, the Sonic movie designs proved themselves to be very marketable, so I'm hoping that these designs can follow. No matter what they do for the design, I just hope they keep them looking like plastic and not give them an actual material like skin or something. In terms of writing, since this was said to be an original idea and not Bandai Namco forcing some company to make a Pac-Man movie, I actually have high hopes for the writing. Personally, I think that Pac-Man should be depicted as an adult. Make him in a relationship with Ms. Pac-Man or Pac-Mom, depending on how legal issues go about. I get if they would not include Pac-Man's children to make Pac-Man seem hip and younger, or just to not introduce that many characters. But personally, I think that Pac-Man should not be the same sort of character like, say, Sonic or Woody the Woodpecker would be in these sorts of films. Just being an obnoxious, young character. In terms of the story, what I think is going to happen is some sort of Pac-Man, getting sucked into the real world. Whether it's the OG arcade game or some Pac-Man world universe. I feel like that's what's going to happen, and the ghost will just start out as Pac-Man's enemy until becoming good guys to face some sort of greater evil. I feel like that's the most predictable way this movie could go, but who knows. Again, this was said to be an original idea, so it could be something a lot more specific. I was actually going to title this video Why the Pac-Man Movie is Fundamentally Flawed, but after some thinking, I definitely think, besides the character design, that this movie could unironically work. Just don't force Pac-Man to be cool, make him a mature character in the sense that he doesn't act childish, and you should be fine. Pac-Man has such a basic premise that you can really take any liberties you want with a film adaptation. And hey, if you want to include material from other games like Miru, Golvis, or Kinzo, that's only a bonus. I'm excited for this film whenever it gets produced, and depending on how they handle it, it could be great. Though I don't think it'll make Pac-Man relevant again. I think Pac-Man has reached a status akin to Garfield or Charlie Brown, where everyone knows the series, and there are some big fans of it, but it's still kind of a niche, and you can't really make it a big thing. Usually I write very in-depth and well-thought-out stuff, but because we don't really know anything about the movie, I don't have that many thoughts of it. I have thoughts of what it could be, but nothing for, what it is, because, again, we don't know what it is. Yeah, so if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, then, go ahead. I do occasional live streams of Pac-Man, but I usually stream other things like art or just other video games, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. Yeah, that's all I have to say for now. Bye.